Monday afternoon, time for the Candlestick Cash Radar, and that gives us our weekly targets. We pretty much nailed it last week, but let's start out before any review with the S&P over the last 1 month period. Again, down 4.2%, so nothing's going the right way if you're in the long side. Might be time to short the market if you're not already. Consumer staples, a minor bright spot, as well as, I suppose you could say, real estate and healthcare, but really the story is consumer discretionary and technology are both 11, over 10% down over the month. Today was pretty nasty, 2.7% down in the S&P, led by technology with an ugly day, 4% down. Energy and utilities were up today, but let's do a quick review of last week. We nailed the shorts, the short side of the market. We have XLY is ugly, so we said Tesla. We were talking about shorting it on the 200 here after it went up to about 279, 280, and here we are at 222. Boom. So that was a great short right there. And still in a pretty nasty trend. Same with Amazon. That came down as well. We called it from 208, and here we are in the 190s at this point. So right on. We can get into a couple shorts. In fact, I only have 2 shorts and 1 long this week. But first, let's look at what were some of those. The XLP I talked about, that's the only thing really I'm holding, and it's held up. I mean, even today, it actually made a new high of 84.35. Didn't close very well, although it closed over your T line, your 8 EMA. Still above this kind of polarity, so that's pretty good. Still in a good trend. Some of the names in there, Pepsi, looking good still. Got all the way to almost 160 today. We talked about entering there last week in the mid 150s. Right now we're at 156. So those are all still looking pretty good. The long positions haven't moved a lot. What was it? A CVS, that's basically the same spot, 65. So there's a couple of healthcare stocks, but be very careful, right? So let's look at our SPY. Actually, we start with the Dow. So yeah, the Dow was holding this spot. No longer. We have a bearish trend kicker right down to the 200 here. Yeah, a little bit of lower shadow. That's a continuation pattern to the downside. Be careful. We're in a downtrend. That's a continuation candle to the downside. QQQ for your NASDAQ. Another one. Bearish kicker. Continuation to the downside. You're under the 200 already. I can see that flushing to the next level of 463.5. And your SPY. Same thing, bearish trend kicker. Yikes. So markets are in a downtrend. Just like we said when we failed this window, you could actually short the market. Speaking of shorting, what do we like? Well, there's as far as the sector, XLY, I'm not talking about shorting this. I have been talking about it. It's been a great short. But as far as shorting something right now, just find something weak within the XLY. We already saw Tesla and Amazon. How about CMG, Chipotle Mexican Grill? There's your bearish J hook. So you move down, boom, you come up for air, and it's a J hook in the wrong direction. You could look at possibly going short, whether that is wait for bump up to the T line or the break of this hammer right here at 48. However you like to do it. I'd prefer it to come up to the T line. So maybe getting at 51.50 for a short. But that's something to watch. You're definitely in a downtrend, and it's a bearish J hook pattern. So we have a pattern there. SFM is another one. This is in your consumer staples, which has actually been really good. the XLP. That's actually been very good. So this is a counter trend. Okay, SFM is Sprouts grocery store. That should be going up along with its sector. It's not. It's kind of sinking down. But remember, look at your very long term. These are monthly candles. Wow. From 30 bucks 2 years ago to got to 175. Wow. Right now it's at 132. So finally some weakness in the very long term. And I think we have a little ways to go. Probably come down to the 200, around 119, 120. Right now you're at 133, so there's still some good downside there. Why do I think that? Because you had your bearish best friend gap down, sunk right, closed right under the 50. This blue line, the 50 moving average, came up for air, and this is a blue ice failure. So you have blue ice failure. Trying to put your hand up through the ice hole. When you fall into it, you can't. You're likely to fall down to the next moving average, which is the 200. So watch for that. And it's broken the Darvis that it was holding yesterday. So you go short SFM if you like it, or CMG. The only long is I'll stick with Pepsi. Pepsi didn't close very well today, but it's made a new high here. The high was 160.08. You're over the 3T and the 8T. You're in an uptrend, and it's in that XLP, so really nice sector. So that's doing quite well. Look at Coca-Cola, that's kind of the same thing. I like Coke too, but yeah, choose your soft drink, which one you like. So I'll go with Pepsi. They just had their dividend of $1.35 on Friday, so that's over with. So anyway, I hope this helps everybody gear up for this week, and good luck in the markets. But I remember, stay towards the short side or just stay in cash, just like I said last week.